as you're living, always remember you'll never beat life, so don't try to cheat life. All men are brothers, do unto others. Love's for enjoying, hate's for destroying. Never forget it, else you'll regret it, long as you're living. You're living, always remember time is for spending, but there's an ending. While you are sleeping, a lifetime is creeping. Sample and savor all of its flavor. Live every minute, put yourself in it, as long as you're living. Forgive me if I seem to preach, but there is something that I have to say, a message that I hope will reach some people who are throwing life away. I call it my philosophy, and now I like to hand it down to you, because it works so well for me. It helps me get away from strife. I hope you listen carefully. You know the truth will set you free, and that's the way it ought to be, 'cause brother, this is your life. You're living, always remember, folks who are lazy, they're just plain crazy. Better keep moving, keep on improving, 'cause you won't be hurried after you're buried. Live every minute, put yourself in it, as long as you're living. You free, and that's the way it ought to be, 'cause sister, this is your life. Live every minute, sample and savor all of its flavor, long as you're living. Long as you're living. Long as you're living.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Susannah. As long as you're living. Y'all living? Are you alive? Yes. Good. I like that confirmation. Hello there. So opening words. I'm going to use that word opening and refer to an opening that I went to last night. A big opening in our community. The Sedona Film Festival, the International Film Festival last night, went to the grand opening. So a lot of SUUFers there. I know that's why a few of them still getting over themselves this morning. But Steve was there, and I saw Joyce, and it was great. Her and Larry, and all of that. And I don't believe in coincidences. The speaker was a singer, Dr. Elvis Francois. Man who looked like me, Haitian ancestry, talked about what it was like to grow up in the projects of Miami Beach, and here he is now at Mayo and Harvard and places like that. So, but he talked about the power of music. I thought it was a setup. That's what I'm talking about today. The power of music, the place of music. And I've had the audacity, I'm going to pick one song. So I welcome you with one word, and that word is gratitude. You could be anywhere, and you chose to be here. And know that for that we are so grateful. So if you would, take a look at your order of service. And I said 7 o'clock. In that order of service, you will see something there referred to as our shared affirmation of mission. If you would be so kind to follow me, and we shall read that together. This fellowship is a welcoming, diverse, and nurturing, beloved community that promotes progressive religious thought and practice to create a more loving, just, and sustainable world. I always make a comment about the whole world. Yeah, we're going for the whole enchilada. We believe that what we do here in this place ripples out into the world. We can now open the microphone for any announcements. If we have any announcements from members, anybody who has some announcements to share with us, please do it at this time.
Goodness, I should have turned that off. Hello? Hello? I need to put this on share. Just a minute. Who is this again?
This is George Smith. Is this Tanya Mayer?
Oh, it's Tanya.
Are you a homeowner?
Yes,
Great. Hey, do you have home insurance?
I do.
How about car insurance?
I have that too.
Oh, no. How about life insurance?
I don't want any.
Oh, that's too bad.
Okay, George, I've answered your questions. Now you answer mine, okay?
Okay.
Do you believe in people's inherent worth and dignity?
Yeah, I guess so.
How about justice, equity, and compassion?
Sure.
Do you think our country's doing that now?
What do you mean?
Well, do we treat LGBTQ people, racial minorities, elders like we do everyone else?
I don't know.
You want to learn more?
Sure.
Do you like movies?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Do you have Netflix?
Yeah, I watch it a lot.
Got a pen and paper handy?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, write down, right now. This week, watch the movie Disclosure on Netflix.
Got it.
Okay, Friday morning then at 10:30, come to my house and we'll discuss it.
Oh, sounds good. Where do you live?
30 Bronco Drive in West Sedona.
Oh, that's too bad. I live in a sleazy suburb of Los Angeles.
Well, that's okay. You can join us later online.
How?
On Zoom. Tuesday, March 1st, 10:30.
Well, that's wonderful. How do I get the link?
It's on our SUUF website.
It's great. You know, I'm tired of playing games and watching music videos all the time.
Yeah, join us in creating peace, liberty, justice for all.
That sounds a lot more meaningful than making cold calls to sell insurance.
Definitely. We have more great upcoming films on aging and racial justice.
Well, I'll do that. You know, this is the best telemarketing call I've ever made. You've turned my life around.
Well, that's what we do at SUUF. Come visit us.
I will. It's no more sales calls for me. I'm ready to build a better way to live.
May it be so. May it be so.
And thanks for the invitation to participate
And now I've got to get back to them. Bye, George.
Bye, Tanya.
But do RSVP to me if you want to come to the house discussion. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I have brought this to your attention before. It's part of our quest to do social justice. There is a training for ACT volunteers, that's Arizona Crisis Team. These are people who work to help the emotional difficulties people have after a tragedy, like a fire that burns their house down, losing their spouse in a car accident. There's a training that they require. It's 50 hours, but it's coming up in March. And it's March 11, will be for Sedona and the Verde Valley, and then in April in Prescott. There is information on our website under the Justice and then Local Resources tab that you can look at their Facebook page or their website, azcrisisteam.org, or you can also email Sue Rutherford at sue@azcrisisteam.org. Thank you.
Pat? Yeah.
If I can add to that, there will be an announcement with all that information in next weekend's announcement. And the training is on March 11th, so that should give you plenty of time to sign up for this wonderful training session that they offer.
Thank you.
I don't know how to follow Tanya. I was thinking of taking off my sock and making a sock puppet. But then I thought my feet would get cold. So. But in the spirit of warmth and keeping my socks on, we want to share our warmth with each other. So I'm again urging people to please either contact Sarah or myself if you have any interest in serving our warm and loving community, our entertaining, sock puppet-filled, telemarketer-free community, and let us know if you're interested in running for any board position, any committee position. We want to know of your interests. We can make good matches. Please, people have been stepping up and coming to us and letting us know they're interested. That's great. There's room for more. Please contact us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Allow me to underscore that. Leadership doesn't fall from Mars or from the trees. It comes from these seats right here. So if you're thinking about it, move on. Invitation. Our outreach committee was contacted by the Sedona Food Bank to participate one more time in the kids' backpack program. Of course, we accepted. We agreed to provide assistance every Thursday for the months of April and May, and we'll have available slots for 2 people plus, okay? Plus 1 backup person for the following dates: April 14th, 21st, 28th, May 5th, 12th, and Tuesday, May 17th. So please get in touch with Cora Shore if you'd like to submit your first and second choices for any of those open dates. And Pat, I'm sure that information will be available also.
It was in this weekend's announcement.
It's in this week's announcement.
So take a
Thank
look
you.
at that.
Hope House is almost finished. The contractor will hand over the keys on March 8th, and the first families will move in by the end of March. There's some help is needed to clean and set up the house from March 8th through March 22nd. So please let Penny know if you're interested in helping with the Helping Hand project. Great. Yes, Pat.
And it's also in this weekend's announcement.
The keys to life in this weekend's announcement. So let us light this chalice. As I like to say, we create that umbrella under which all are welcome, all are welcome. So with the rekindling of this flame, let us open ourselves up and agree to accept those gifts that we were given, namely the gifts of grace and of gratitude, and to use those gifts to bless this world spirit of love. May it be so. Now we will have our reading. Look a little different.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is from the Greek philosopher Plato, and it's really for all of us that I read this, but it's especially for Susannah, because I know we will appreciate her so much. I would teach children music, physics, and philosophy, but most importantly, music. For the patterns of music and all the arts are the keys to learning. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything.
Thank you, Donna. Plato himself, huh? Good morning again, and welcome to the Sedona Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I welcome you in the name of the ancestors upon whose shoulders I stand, and of course I welcome you always in the name of whatever is sacred and holy for you. I'm so privileged, blessed to be able to share this space with you this morning. My personal appreciation for Unitarian Universalism, which I love to share every time I have the opportunity, is summed up in the words from the UU Church of Dublin, Ireland. And they say, we do not ask what you believe or expect you to think the way we do, but only that you try to live a kind and helpful life, kind and helpful, with the dignity proper to that of a human being. So welcome all who believe that religion is wider than any sect and deeper than any set of opinions, including my own. Welcome all who might find in this fellowship and in our friendship strength and encouragement for daily living. Because as we say, it don't mean a thing. That's right, don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Today's sermon / talk is entitled, Nothing to the Tin Man.
Sometimes late when things are real and people share the gift of gab between themselves. Some are quick to take the bait and catch the perfect prize that waits among the shelves. But Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. And cause never was the reason for the evening or the Tropic of Sir Galahad. So please believe in me when I spinning round, 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 smoke that stain right
Yeah, y'all might have to excuse me if I act a little weird and strange this morning, but that takes me back to my hippie day. I don't know how you can sit there and be still and not move on that song. It does something to me. It did something to me and it continues to do something. You see, Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man. And he already got it. Let me give a thank you to Unitarian Universalism for freedom of the pulpit. Because I could talk about Matthew, Mark, John, and Luke. Or I could talk about Dewey. And I'm grateful for that. You'll get to know Dewey in a minute. So for me, music has always been a gateway. It's a gateway to touch the divine in everything. So when I heard those lyrics to the Tin Man, back in those days when I was doing things I'm not going to mention right now, but you know what I'm talking about. It resonated with me so, and still does to this day. It offers us a reminder that we're born with a gift. I believe this so strongly. I go so far as to say we're all born with a genius. The message is always in the music. So this week I'm going to talk about music in general and its presence in our lives, of course. And here's the guy who jumped up and he said this: music has always been a matter of energy to me, a question of fuel. Sentimental people call it inspiration. But what they really mean is fuel. I've always needed fuel. I'm a serious consumer. On some nights, I still believe that a car with the gas needle on empty can run about another 50 miles if you have the right music on your radio. How about none other than Hunter Thompson? So what is this healing power of music? I'm thinking about last night at the Sedona International Film Festival, where you had a Harvard-trained Mayo Clinic resident spinal surgeon standing up testifying for the difference music makes in the healing of his patients. And I thought it was a sound. It just feels so I could say that. A positive effect on stroke and dementia, not to mention Alzheimer's disease. So it was so beautiful to hear him say that. And for those who have dedicated their lives to bringing that music to us, pause and salute to you, my friend, Miss Susannah. And we give that up. Because in my cosmos, she ain't no musician. Musicians are not musicians. You know the poet, Paul, I got to make something up. They are, in fact, mathematicians. I call them mathematicians of the soul. That's what I think about you. So the song, of course, Tin Man may remind some of us of The Wizard of Oz, right? That movie that was made in 1939. Based on a book written in 1900, L. Frank Baum's children's novel. Baum, you may know, was a theosophist who openly, out loud and proud, shared his belief that the knowledge of God or of spirit could be achieved through direct intuition. Oh yeah. A spiritual ecstasy. He's one of the students of who I call Madame Helen. Who knows her last name? Thank you. Blavatsky. One and only. So some believe that The Wizard of Oz is much more than a fantasy story of a girl and her dog trying to get back home. It's a parable, some say, of how to achieve spiritual enlightenment in the physical world and to use that enlightenment in an effective way. But that's a sermon for another day. Today is about music And that one song in particular that I heard years ago, as I mentioned, it still resonates today. That we're all born with a gift. As you all probably know, the song Tin Man is by the musical group America, yeah. Written by one Dewey, who I mentioned before. Dewey Bunnell is his name. Dewey says, well, the song is like surrealism, which was a genre of art that was always mesmerizing for me. There's the whole psychedelic thing coming out of the 60s. The Woodstock generation, opening your eyes, expanding your mind, and looking at things different. We really did. We were a straight culture out of the 50s. It was all black and white. So the lyrics began this way. Sometimes late, when things are real, and people share the gift of gab between themselves. I do believe that these are real times, and that it's getting late. How about you? Our time of tumult, this is a real time and a late time, and I can't emphasize enough the gift of sharing. The gift of sharing gab among ourselves. Sometimes late when things are real, and people share the gift of gab between themselves. How about in a fellowship on a Sunday morning? How about this fellowship on this Sunday morning? His lyrics continue. Now, some are quick to take the bait. Some are quick to take the bait. Am I quick to take the bait? Are you quick to take the bait? To believe everything you see. Well, I got a flash. The wise one said a long time ago, only believe half of what you see. Like literally, I driving in on 179 this morning. It'll be said, hey, that's Cathedral Rock. But it don't look like Cathedral Rock. I can't see the man. I can't see the woman. Why not? It's on the other side. It's always on the other side. You can only see what? What you can see. Only believe always half of what you see. And you know the other part of that. None of what you hear. That simply means check it out for yourself, which applies to everything I say for sure. Check it out with respect. The same kind of respect that you crave. Give that respect that you crave. So he says, some are quick to take the bait and catch the perfect prize. To take the bait and catch the perfect prize that waits among the shells. Ah, the prizes, huh? The possessions. All that glitters, though, folks, as we all know, what I used to be young self, all that glitters can't go. And as I say, always know that fries come with that shake. You want that fat chocolate shake. Fries automatically come with it. Frankie Beverly reminds us, joy and pain, same thing. They go together. Dewey said it this way. He said, actually, when I wrote the lyrics here, it says shells. But it should say shells. Remember about what you see and believe in? Only half of what you see. It is published as shells. The writers say, I was talking about shells. And for 40 years now, everywhere you go, it's what that waits among the shells. So when he says, so when you grab onto a subject, you grab it and you take the bait. And you run with it. You talk about and you figure it out. Like we all try to figure out the fate of the world. Old Dewey might have been a you and didn't know it. Song goes on. Ah, my favorite line. But Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. Dewey said, Oz never gave nothing to somebody. And I'll stretch it to everybody. Oz didn't give nothing to somebody they didn't already have. That's what I was actually trying to say, he said. It has nothing to do with the Wizard of Oz. That's what Doobie said, right? Said. I say we're all born with a genie, born with a genius. You see, the Creator, as I understand it, does not make mistakes. Might look like you might want to describe it, but I think that you're born with a genie and that you're born a genius, but you didn't get the memo. We got another memo. It's got a definition of what a genius is, and there's a picture of Albert Einstein stamped in the right corner of our head. Well, indigenous folks offer a different POV. You know, the native folks here, that's why you meet, so how your name? I'm Henry, I'm Anthony. What's your name? Buffalo who runs by the water. You see, there's more naming, or any Dagara people of West Africa. What's your name? My name is Maladoma. He who makes friends with the enemy and the stranger. So you grew up all your life knowing who your mission, your peace, what your gift. Look, ain't nothing wrong with being a lawyer, an accountant, an attorney. Fantastic jobs and careers, but I'm talking about the job you can't be fired from. That one you can't be fired from. Our song goes on. And cause was never the reason for the evening or the Tropic of Sir Galahad. By the way, there is no such tropic. Poetic license he took. This line is a reminder for all of us and for me to never forget to have fun, to dance, to laugh, to be silly, to be open, to be flexible, to make stuff up like your grandkids do. Just make stuff up. And just like Dewey did with the Tropic of Sir Galahad. He said, well, because there never was the reason for the evening. There's no reason for the evening. That's the same line that I was trying to just say, that there's no reason for the evening. And we're going to say there's a scientific cause, obviously, because the earth spins around and the sun goes down. He goes on to say, I was trying to allude to the evening as being a time when I just can't really define my words. It was a time when you were talking from the heart. So please believe in me when I say I am spinning round and round and round. Please believe in me. Now, these lyrics remind me of what I consider in my head and heart the three most powerful words in the English language. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm just spinning round and round and round. My eyes and my heart is always open. Look, we're all spinning. We're spinning around on a planet in the middle of the universe at about 1,000 miles an hour. I'm not in charge. You in charge? The lyrics continue. Smoke glass stained bright colors, image going down, 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 down. Soap sud, green light bubbles. Now here's where I felt and saw religion. They said something about stained glass, get that. So I saw this stained glass thing. That old image of religion being torn down, down, down. New image of so-called religion as maybe some version of what old Ralph Waldo Emerson said. To the poet, to the philosopher, to the sage, all things are friendly and sacred. All events profitable. All days are holy. Not just Sunday. All days are holy. All men and women are divine. So I just call it a bubble of divinity. Smoke glass stained bright colors, image going down, down, down. Soap sud, green light bubbles. Now the first principle of Unitarian Universalism speaks to each person's what? Inherent worth. Inherent. It's in there. It's like that, was it Prey Goose sauce? It's in there. So what I believe one of our biggest problems is Western-headed folks in search of our spirituality, whatever that looks like, which is so ancient, and what the indigenous people laugh at me and say, the old ones. You don't know you're born with genes, you're born with a gift. Yeah, I say, but we just never got the memo. In fact, the ones I got were just the opposite of that. You aren't anything. I'm going to clean the phrase up. It was like you ain't some version of that. So this gift, and by the gift of what I'm talking about, has nothing to do with your achievements, which we love and salute and celebrate. Let's be clear. Let's be clear and elevate our achievement. Let's be real clear. We're not talking about dissing anything. But I'm not talking about this. Nothing to do about your achievements or what your career is or is not. This is, I'm referring to who we are, not what we do. What we do is not who we are. Honoring the difference, I'm not here to argue about better. I leave that to somebody else. Y'all to argue about that. Take it both ends. That's what the ancient ones say, but perhaps there are some of us out there who would prefer a more modern interpretation, a more modern voice. So I like to quote Buckminster Fuller, who says, quote, everyone is born a genius. That's what Mr. Fuller said. Everyone is born a genius. But the process of living de-geniuses us, he said. So friends, let us not de-genuous ourselves. No, Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man. That he didn't already have. Because I see the genius in you. I see the genius in you. I see the genius in you. And I hope you see the genius in me. And in every person. This is my wish. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Please join me in a moment of silence. You and I, we have been warmed by fires that we did not build ourselves. We have drank from wells that we did not dig. We know this to be so. So in gratitude of our many, many blessings, and in honor and recognition of our many, many needs, this morning offering for this congregation will now be received.
Avec
in this place make a commitment to help the human race. How about that? With our own two hands. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now is the time we have the opportunity and pleasure. Please, to hear the joys and concerns that are sitting in the heads and hearts of these beautiful fellowship of ours. Our first joy is always that I see some new people who maybe are here for the first time or haven't been here in a while. Could I ask you to raise your hands if that follows, if you qualify anyway? Now I got to talk about you, and I hope my glasses are not deceiving me because it speaks to the power of music. Clark's parking lot, right? Yeah. It was the power of music that brought us together. Young man was out there just, which I think I'm going to try to get him here one day, but that's another thing. Man, he was I mean, it was some of the most beautiful, yeah? Yes. It was just, oh my goodness. And she was dancing and stuff. You know me, I love music, so I went there and just stopped. Oh, by the way, I would have never got there if awesome lady had said, honey, I saw somebody that's supposed to do that, you better get over the clock. So, that's the way it always should be. It's always a woman to point me in the right direction. And I ain't ashamed to say it. That's the way it goes. So I went, I said, and I'm just watching the guy play. Oh, and it was so beautiful. He's a young, handsome fellow. And I didn't see no place to put my tip thing. I want to give him something. But he had a sign there that said, Venmo. Venmo me at doop-de-doop-doop, or Cash App, $, John Violin, or something. I went, oh, Lord. Can I just go in my pocket and give you a tenner or something, you know what I mean? But anyway, he did finally. I said that to say, I turned and said, because I'm always, y'all don't know, but I'm always on the small crowd for peeps. So I looked, I said hello to him, I looked up, I was getting ready to get the guy my car, he heard my car and stuff. And I was already with my UU speech after shit. Because he said, have you been in Sedona law 4 or 5 years, and what do you do? So I got, oh Lord, I got to break this whole UU thing down again. And I said, well, I'm the Unitarian Universalist minister in Sedona, happy to say. And she said,
I grew up a Unitarian.
My work was done. My work for the day was done. Welcome, dear one. I said, well, I hope I see you one day, and here she is. So, I think so, too. Exactly. So please sign our visitor list on the welcome table. You know, Spirit know how to do it. I want to mention one more time, Rick, thank you so much for donating your CDs and performing the music for us last time. Such a joy, I have a joy.
May I say something about that?
Yes, you may.
A lot more, because I saw there were some missing, and that's good. But I want you to know, lullabies doesn't mean to go to sleep by, it's just to relax to. I made that when a friend of mine said she was pregnant, and she'd like to have something that she would listen to, so when the baby was born, she'd be, he or she, Cosmo we called it, because we didn't know who was sick, that they'd already be welcomed with that music. So it's not just for kids, I want you to know that. But if you've got grandchildren somewhere, it's perfect for mom and dad too. So, there you go.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. And as you know, all proceeds from the sale of those CDs comes to the fellowship. So thank you again. Do we have any other joys? I'm opening up the microphone. Joys or concerns that members may wish to share at this time, please.
Well, my joy, I'm Ann Crosman, is your good wishes and prayers for my continued good health. And I invite you to take a book from the tray on the table in the lobby from Barbara Luttrell's library. Barbara was our late good member,
Yes. Well, Ann, I am so happy to see you, mask notwithstanding, so I'll let you continue because you kind of sparse. Put that thing on. So I'm so happy to take you off my list of wishing you well. You're here in person. We are grateful for that. Welcome. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I'm glad there's a short microphone. This was a great service today, and I have a whole lot of things going on in my head, sort of stream of consciousness. So I'll try to make it short and see if I can make it hang together. I hope with 2 masks this is working. Yes. Thank you. Couple of things from the sermon that really caught my mind, about music, some about names. The father of our 2 older grandsons, wonderful grandsons, Lori and Sonny are no longer married. However, he's still connected with our family by all means. And his nickname was Sonny. His McCaw, Native American name, I won't pronounce it quite right, but it was Vaidhya, which means he who hunts whales. The macaw are great whale hunters. Sonny became an air traffic controller, so I used to kid him about hunting whales in the sky. And he turned out to be an amazing air traffic controller who did training all over the country. Still a part of our family. A couple of other things quickly about music. Ron is back in St. Paul seeing his family for a couple of weeks, which he really needed to do. You may know that he's on immunotherapy at Mayo, tolerating it well, and he and our son, I'll get to music in a minute, he and our son just purchased a road trail bike for Ron. They had plans a couple of years ago to motorcycle the Blue Ridge Parkway together. That did not happen because of COVID and Ron having a couple more surgeries. However, the cycle will now be stored at our son's, and they plan some Minnesota and Wisconsin trail trips this summer. Ron turned 85 this month. And I can still see him out on his motorcycle. Having a great time with Chris. Very quickly, one other thing, while Ron is gone, I decided to tackle a little bit of our garage. And we're lucky to get cars in because it's really Ron's garage. And he's a saver and a keeper of all kinds of things. And I started sorting some. Well, some of them were mine. 2 boxes of tapes, music tapes, that had been stored for years from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I thought, well, they'll be completely trashed. So this week I've been listening to these tapes, and they're in beautiful shape. So I'm listening to Carlos McFee, John Denver, Yanni, you'll think of all the names. They're all there, probably hundreds of tapes. So I'm having a good time while I'm here, and Ron is having a wonderful time in Minnesota with family. Thank you.
Now we have the tall mic, right? That was such a positive, wonderful message from Barbara. I hate to close with a downer perhaps, but many of you in the congregation I know Pat Corrington, know who she is. And Pat yesterday had a fall and broke several vertebrae. Yeah, so she's very much on my heart and mind, and I hope you will keep her on yours.
Thank you.
She's doing okay. She was very briefly paralyzed, but she is not now, and she's in the hospital. We'll be going into rehab, but again, send some thoughts and prayers to Pat.
For sure. For sure.
Oh, she's at the Flagstaff Hospital right now. It's not certain where she'll go to rehab, probably in Flagstaff, but that's not been determined yet.
Okay. Thank you, Helen. We also want to keep some members and friends in our thoughts who are going through challenging times. I'm thinking of Tony and Jeannie Marini, Shelley Burke and Al Nemoff, George Bine. Want to put our hands together, let George know we're holding him in a place of healing. And Joyce and Larry. We're holding them in a place of healing. You know, we only think about y'all. In case you're watching out there, I only think about you when I'm asleep or awake. Other than that, never. All right. I think you're ready to take us on home. Our closing song. It's all about the song.
crowd is growing bigger. Listen to the happy sound, and I'm gonna let it flow.
Listen to the music. The message is always in the music. So with the kindling, who is this for what? May you take this flame of commitment, this flame of joy, and appreciation for music that I feel and that you have created. May you take this and carry it in your heart and go in peace until we are together again. May it be so.